Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, March 10th, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Here in the New York metropolitan area, spring has sprung. The temperature reached about 75 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday, and it's another warm day today. Economic news from Europe is coming. The European Central Bank and its president, Mario Draghi, have made some significant moves this morning. The European Central Bank cut its main interest rate to zero, and it souped up its quantitative easing program to now include corporate bonds. Markets had been wondering what Mario Draghi had left up his sleeve, but any doubts were dispelled as the central bank also took its deposit rate down to negative 0.4% and launched another round of what will be zero-interest lending operations. They're also going to add another 20 billion euros a month to its already massive asset purchase program. According to one analyst, this was a much bigger bazooka than the market was expecting, and it shows that the ECB is trying to get ahead of the confidence curve. German bonds rallied, stocks rallied. All eyes are firmly on Frankfurt right now, where Mario Draghi has a news conference at 13:30 Greenwich Mean Time, in which he's going to explain the rationale for the shock and awe tactics. A Reuters poll beforehand had shown economists expecting only another 10 billion euros a month that would be added to the 1.5 trillion euro bond buying program, and none had expected that the bank's lending rate would go down to zero. Draghi doubled the injection rate to 20 billion euros a month. The London syndicate and insurer Beazley is reporting that data breaches have rocketed 60% and that ransomware attacks have doubled. Data breaches have shot up that amount between 2014 and 2015, with a concentration of incidents in the financial, healthcare, and higher education sectors. Research carried out by Beazley found that breaches caused by hacking or malware nearly doubled from 18% to 32%. Breaches involving ransomware, where hackers lock up an organization's data, holding it ransom until a ransom is paid in nearly untraceable Bitcoin amounts, more than doubled to 43%. They expect ransomware attacks will increase by 250% in 2016. Of course, there was a big case in the United States when the Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital in Los Angeles had to pay hackers $17,000 in Bitcoin in order to get back data that had been stolen. It's not just corporations and healthcare organizations that are affected by data leaks. Now ISIS, the Islamic State, has fallen victim to a data leak as well. Sky News is saying that they've taken possession of tens of thousands of names of the terrorist group's registration forms, containing 22,000 names, addresses, phone numbers, and family contacts of Islamic State jihadis. The news organization got the files on a USB stick that was stolen from the head of ISIS's security police by a member who had become disillusioned. Also included on the stick is a sub-file of members who are willing to martyr themselves. The German security forces, as well as the French security forces, are already acting on the information found on the stick. There's been a lot of rain in California lately, and there's another big storm moving in for the weekend. Forecasters are keeping an eye on it. One meteorologist said that this is going to put a dent into some of the drought, but it's not going to take it away by any stretch. Rains are going to start moving in tomorrow, and the hope that the severely impacted reservoirs will get refilled may in fact come to pass. Statewide snowpack right now is about at 83% of normal. It's critical because it can account for most of the water supply during the spring and summer. Last year, the snowpack was just at 5%, so it's a 78% improvement. Meteorologists are warning that the drought took many years to actually develop, so one miraculous March isn't necessarily going to wipe it out, but it is going to ease the situation. One situation that's been greatly eased is the reinsurance profits from the third largest reinsurer in the world, Hannover Re. They published a record set of results for 2015, beating their own target of 950 million euros for the full year by reporting a group net income of 1.15 billion euros. The operating profit showed that the carrier beat last year's result by almost 20%. The carrier's investment portfolio performed very well, driven by increased exposures to real estate and high-yield funds, as well as from income coming from private equity holdings. Their underwriting ratio actually diminished a little bit, so they've done even better with that. Ulrich Wallin, the CEO, said, "A strong underwriting result in P&C reinsurance and sharply higher net profit and life and health reinsurance, combined with a substantial income increase in investment income, are the cornerstones of our outstanding net income results for the year." Good job for them. Officials in Lagos, Nigeria are saying that the collapse of a building complex under construction has killed 34 workers. The workers are mainly foreign workers coming from Benin and Niger. The authorities ordered the work stopped. The construction project was not approved. The property was at the Leaky Gardens, L-E-K-K-I, and they said that the development directors would be prosecuted. Unlicensed and unapproved building projects in Lagos are the norm, and frequently they result in deaths from injuries. If you've been to Hartsfield Airport in Atlanta lately, you know that it's one of the busiest airports in the world. It's the busiest one in the United States. It saw 101.5 million passengers go through it last year. Officials there are now laying the groundwork for an expansion that's going to come to about $6 billion in total costs. It's an expansion and renovation project. It's going to add a sixth runway. It's going to redevelop the concourse. It's going to add a new hotel, and it's going to add a new concourse. The airport director said that keeping Hartsfield operating normally will be a complicated part of the project while all of this $6 billion worth of construction is going to occur. That's an understatement. It's going to be a real challenge. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.